My name is Elena, and I am the owner and creator of my self-love coaching business, Velatia Coaching. I'm a certified health, life, and transformation coach. For my expertise knowledge in transformation wellness, and for my own difficult experiences as an insecure girl in high school, I was able to develop life-changing life coaching programs to help women find true self-love and acceptance through authentic, personalized, and holistic guided coaching practices. On this channel, I share my knowledge and my expertise insights to help guide you to elevating your relationship with yourself. This week, I'm talking about my signature process to building self-love. Self-love is a very intimate and personal journey for every individual, and no journey looks identical. But I developed a simple guide to understanding the process of building self-love. And this process is the easiest pathway to building self-love and needs to be done in a very specific order. Why? Because if you do the steps out of order, your arrival at self-love will feel a little wobbly. It's similar to graduating to a new grade. You can't go from 5th grade to 1st grade to 12th grade. There are foundational layers of each step that you must master before graduating to the next level in order to really master your self-love journey. And I'll describe self-love building it as a very similar process to building a house. There are 4 major components that are needed to create a strong, lasting relationship with yourself. So step 1 is self-discovery. Self-discovery inspires the plans of your dream house. This is when you embrace the idea that life is too short to be at war with yourself. Step 2, self-worth. Self-worth pours the foundation. It's your anchor, an essential component. Self-worth opens your eyes to realizing that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of having an incredible relationship with yourself. Step 3 is self-care. Self-care builds the house. It's the bones of the home and the maintenance of those aspects. This is when you engage in consistent, compassionate efforts that help your body flourish physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And then step 4 is self-love. Self-love fills the home. It's the pretty paint with the stencil designs, the fluffy throw pillows, the energy of the home that makes it yours. This is genuine and authentic love that will sustain you throughout every chapter of your life. It is ever-evolving, timeless love. All right, so now let's shortly dive into each one of the components, starting with self-discovery. This is when you are gaining insight into all the tiny details that make you, you. It's also about acknowledging which past experiences have contributed to your present self. And with a strong sense of self, whether the qualities, features, talents, etc. are strengths or weaknesses, there is so much to gain, such as confidence, empowerment, happiness, career success, passion, and motivation, just to name a few. And without this strong sense of self, one falls susceptible to feelings of anxiety, defensiveness, shame, and even unhealthy coping methods, such as engaging in numbing substances or even serial dating, for the fear of not knowing oneself is too overwhelming. And then self-worth, this is that deep knowing that I'm of value, I am lovable, and I am necessary to this life. Feeling unworthy or like you just aren't enough, that you're somehow inadequate or don't deserve love and other wonderful things stems from your ecology. Your ecology is the relationship that you have with your physical environment from the time of your birth to your present self. Your ecology tries to protect your feelings of love, safety, and belonging, and will continue to make decisions based off the known. So if you've always known hardship, distant love, or other powerful experiences, your ecology will continue to seek out experiences that mirror your past experiences because to your mind, because you survived those experiences, they are safe. Which doesn't sound like it makes too much sense when we say it out loud, but to your brain, that's its default programming. And its intentions are good, but you may be suffering from this default programming. So it's important to know how to rewire your brain. And that's when it's super helpful to work with a coach to help make that process easy and simple. Having a low sense of self-worth then can show up in some obvious ways and some subtle ways. Ways like hating your body or taking actions to prove your worth to other people. And having contingencies on how and when you'll love yourself. So now self-care. This is the continuous process of proactively considering and tending to your needs and maintaining your wellness. Self-care isn't all about physical wellness, such as like working out or doing the face mask. Self-care is needed for your entire being, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So some people hear self-care and immediately put in this box of luxuries, something that is a treat once in a while or something that only someone with nothing but time can achieve. But self-care has many levels. And if you don't willingly partake in self-care now, you'll be forced to later on. The imbalances caused by a lack of self-care become so loud and troublesome that they develop into diseases that can be life-threatening. So while making the time may seem hard now, I had to say hair stuck in my face, working with a coach helps alleviate that idea that there aren't enough hours in the day to tend to yourself. There's genuinely a surplus of ways that you can nourish yourself through self-care practices. The sky is truly the limit. And self-care looks different for everyone. So I always encourage my clients to have fun with it and to think outside the box. Alas, self-love. This is the highly sought after relationship with yourself that requires the courage to reflect on where you are, the bravery to consider where you want to be, and the tenacity to strive to be a better version of your true self. It asks you to recognize that without darkness, there cannot be an appreciation for the light. So why should you care about all of this? Because self-love is the foundation of developing healthy personal growth skills and experiences. Self-love, which is rooted in knowing and nurturing your internal strengths and is grounded in your personal values, is essential for growth, learning, and even the fullness that comes with living your whole truth. Anything else is truly counterproductive and destructive. Without self-love, unhealthy habits grow strong, such as self-destructive relationship patterns, codependency, people-pleasing, addictions, and self-sabotage. And I think the pandemic taught us a lot of hard lessons that we're continuing to learn. But I think one of the most empowering lessons that many people are learning is that we don't want to waste our youth, regardless of how old we are, being at war with ourselves. So it's time to love yourself. It's time to feel passionate about yourself. Because when you transform into this person, the best possible version of yourself, who acts and reacts out of love, the world is a better place. Things magically just seem to align with you and for you. Self-love is this hidden gem that hasn't gotten the true attention it needs. And the universe has never begged harder for people to step into their best selves. It's time to answer that call. So now that you know the steps of building self-love, you can get started on your own personal journey. Working with me as a coach, my programs are already laid out to make pursuing these steps easy and fun. But, my signature process now, and you can start embarking on your journey for yourself today without a coach if you wanted to. It may take time to develop a plan of action on your own, but the most important thing is just getting started. There will be many ups and downs along your journey as you figure out your path, but as long as you stick to the essential building blocks that I laid out for you today, your final arrival at self-love is inevitable. All you have to do is make the decision that you are going to commit to yourself, that no matter what happens, who comes into your life, whatever life throws your way, that you're going to remain committed to yourself. Make a deep, unwavering promise to yourself. You do this, and I promise your relationship with yourself will elevate beyond your wildest imagination. So if you enjoyed today's self-love conversation, be sure to click the subscribe button to my channel. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram at Philatia Coaching or online at philatiacoaching.com for even more free self-love content. That's it for today. Until next time, remember, you're worthy of love. XOXO.